Before this video begins, I'd like to give a massive shout out to RattlePokemon. He made two amazing videos about this topic, one about the TCG Live itself, and another responding to arguments against the points he raised in the first video. I highly recommend you watch them, as he eloquently points out many of the flaws I'm about to dissect and talks about how the future of this game is in jeopardy. Both videos will be linked in the description of this one, so please go check them out and give him some support, as he is one of the few who actually talked about this and didn't just blindly gobble up the Poke propaganda. Subscribe to his channel. Now, without further ado, let's begin.
He's mine now.
So, for those of you who are unaware, the Pokemon trading card game online has been out for nearly 10 years, and personally, I don't have a major problem with its current UI or graphical state, and I think that the game's aged well as a whole, still being great fun now. However, I can more than understand the argument that it's getting old and dated now, and a new/updated client could and should be released. Furthermore, I also agree that there are several core features that have been neglected in the TCGO so far. Most notably, the game has not been released as an app on many different mobile versions such as Android and Google. Although the game is playable on such platforms through other methods, it would be great if we could actually get a consistent version to play on those platforms. And most notably, in my opinion, the lack of a ranked ladder. This would be the feature that I would be most excited to see them add to this game. Well, recently Pokemon trading card game Live was announced, which not only adds both of these heavily requested features, but will also feature graphical updates and many other things. For many people, including the majority of the community from what I've seen, this is enough to be super excited and positive about this game. However, if you look on every way this game is improving upon the original, there are some major problems that need to be discussed. Get ready for a rant. So like I said, Pokemon are rolling out a new and improved, big quotation marks, client for the TCG Online. Now this client will be adding several features that I genuinely think are massive improvements, namely, as I mentioned earlier, a ranked ladder system, which will add a nice amount of challenge for competitive players, a way to truly test your deck against consistently similarly leveled opponents, and potentially give players the chance to win unique competitive rewards to show off your skill and or hard work. It will also be compatible with other systems and mobile, which will be great for a lot of people who want to play the game through a simple to access app, but can't due to their Play Store or system not being compatible. This actually affects several people that I personally know, including one of my best friends who's massively into Pokemon and can't wait to play the game. It will also be supposedly updating the graphics, although if you actually look at the trailer, nothing really impressive is shown in my opinion. In fact, a lot of both the UI and the gameplay actually looks like a massive downgrade from the TCGO, and the new avatars look genuinely creepy. But nonetheless, it would be cool if we actually got a graphics update, and the ones shown do look serviceable enough. Here's the thing though, none of that required a new client. Seriously, updated graphics, ranked ladders, and more platforms incorporated did not require a new bloody client, and subsequently any of the baggage that has come with this awful client. We could have easily kept the TCGO roughly the way it was and simply update it to be with the times and add a ranked ladder. But no, instead we get this, a total abomination that completely strips the TCGO of its core elements, ruins what made it good in the first place, and takes a sloppy dump all over its established player base. Now you're probably thinking, well, that's quite a lot of negativity that you're going to need to justify with some serious explanation and evidence, so let's get into how exactly they've done that. Yes, that's right. This new and improved version of the TCGO will be removing features. Firstly, the game will be launching with only cards from the Sun and Moon Lost Thunder set and newer being playable. Now to be clear, your cards from older Sun and Moon sets, XY sets, and Black and White sets will be transferred, so you will be keeping those cards in your collection. But you won't be able to use them in play until a planned update releases that will redesignate them as usable in matches. Now I don't know all the full details on this, but why is this game rolling out with half the collection unusable? And why the arbitrary carve point at Lost Thunder? I have absolutely no clue whatsoever. It seems completely unnecessary and stupid. But now you might be saying, Marcus, you forgot Heart Gold, Soul Silver. Well, no, I didn't, but I think Pokemon did. That's because your Heart Gold, Soul Silver cards will not be transferring over at all. That's right. Everyone's entire Heart Gold, Soul Silver collections will be voided, and it's unknown if people will be given any sort of compensation or just expected to shut up and deal with it. Now, not only is this extremely strange and completely without explanation, it also completely destroys the legacy format, which entirely relies on this expansion. Why? In addition, it serves as a colossal slap to the face of collectors who potentially spent a lot of money on this, as the Heart Gold Soul Silver expansion includes Call of Legends, which has some of the most desirable cards in the game with these beautiful energy cards. And being energy cards, they're completely timeless. There's no reason why a standard basic energy card that just happens to be from a certain set with a certain aesthetic should ever be limited. Why? I know a lot of people love these, and I myself actually really wanted to know where they were from a while ago, so the fact that I'll never be able to get them really just bothers me. And to the people that ground their asses off or spent a fair amount of dosh on attaining these, sucks to be you, I guess, says the Pokemon Company. Seriously, that's such BS. Why are they removing this content? And the worst thing is, like I said, it doesn't matter if you spend all your coins on Heart Gold, Soul Silver packs now, and pull every rare energy in the packs, unless you want to trade them off for loads of valuable stuff, which, given what's going to happen, why would anyone want them? They're going to be voided. I mean, one of the things I wanted from any sort of major update or new version of the TCGO would be for them to actually add more sets. I just thought that would be, pretty much common sense and logic. I wanted to play with truly retro sets like Fossil, Jungle, hell, even Base Set, and some of the newer sets before Heart Gold, Soul Silver like Diamond and Pearl, but I guess less is more is the new business model at Pokemon. Gotta catch 'em all? Apparently not. So apart from collectors, fans of legacy format, and people who might want fancy cards, a lot of you might be wanting to defend this by saying, well, this doesn't affect the average player. Yeah. I'm about to tell you something that affects absolutely everyone, from the most hardcore tournament finalists to the most casual players out there. And I mean in a major way, because Pokemon took something else out of the game that is so egregious, it deserves its own segment. So, chaps, do you think removing older sets from the game's library was bad? Well, get a load of this. Pokemon have made some pretty major changes to trading in this new game. As you probably know, in the PTCGO you can trade cards, coins and sleeves, and even unopened packs redeemed from codes or won through tournaments. This created a thriving economy where players always had a way to build up competitive decks and complete their collections without having to rely on pack odds or buying codes online if they didn't want to. So what have they changed? Well, they've removed it. They removed trading. No, I'm serious. The Pokemon trading card game will no longer allow you to trade the cards in the game. I'm done. Goodbye. Why is no one talking about this? Why is everyone just gobbling this up? I mean, are you serious? No trading. The best part is, despite them being adamant trading is gone, PTCG Radio showed in his video that even this is in question, and although his video was majorly positive, which I of course disagree with, even he could not just be completely confused and almost in awe of how stupid and convoluted this all is. What the hell are players supposed to expect here? I'll link his video below too so that you can watch it in full and see what I'm talking about. But seriously, what the hell? Assuming it really is going, this is going to be such a huge blow to the game. Trading added so much to this game. It set it apart from so many other games like it that fully subscribed to the cancerous, predatory mobile game prolific systems of microtransactions, multiple currencies that you have to buy, and looking content that everyone actually wants behind ridiculous grinds or milestones, which serves to force players to pay if they want a real chance at getting said unlocks. And trading is a massive part of the real life game, and that's not going to be going anywhere anytime soon. So if trading has gone, what will replace it? How will players get cards, items and cosmetics in PTCG Live? Well, That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Pokemon decided to replace the core feature that put their game above predatory and leeching monetized platforms by becoming a predatory and leeching monetized platform. Let's remember, the PTCGO really had one main currency, coins, which were used for purchasing packs, decks, and cosmetics. Now, you can also say that there are the tickets to enter tournaments, which I guess do kind of count as a currency, but that's their one exclusive use. And most importantly, there are no ways to purchase either of them for real money, and both can only be earned by playing. Furthermore, while attaining tickets is pretty slow, which, to be fair, since you only need 8 to enter an expanded tournament and 6 or even less to enter other types of tournaments, I say expanded because that's the main format I play, coins can be attained at a perfectly reasonable rate, allowing players to buy multiple packs a day. So, a system that makes it fair for everyone and means you can essentially unlock almost everything in the game while staying free to play. Now, what will PTCG Live replace this with? 3 currencies. 3! Coins, credits, and crystals. Yeah, they can't even sound like anything other than a tactless cash grab. Let's discuss what these currencies are. So this article is from the website .esports.com, and I'll be linking these articles in the description below as well. So this is a quote from the article. Coins can be earned through quests, leveling up, and other in-game interactions that will be available once the game launches. Players can use their coins to purchase avatar apparel items, so basically bugger all, emotes, deck boxes, card sleeves, and other accessories. So basically, coins are now the typical free-to-play currency in predatory games, used to buy the stuff that doesn't actually matter. And yes, deck boxes, sleeves, coins, etc. are cool, but they're far from the actual core element of Pokemon. If everyone had to use default deck sleeves and coins, I don't think it would be a massive blow to the game, whereas something like, removing trading is going to have a pretty major impact. But let's continue. Credits are obtained by converting additional copies of cards you already have 4 or more of by hitting milestones in the game. There are special limits for cards like Ace Spec or Prism Star. So here's a breakdown for those. 4 copies of any single card, 1 copy of Ace Spec or Prism Star cards, 1 copy for each part of a V Union card, and 59 copies of any energy card. There will likely be multiple other ways to earn credits, whether that be by converting unwanted cards or alternate methods that will be revealed later. Once redeemed, credits can then be used to grab copies of single cards you need for your collection. So the first of the 2 new currencies, it seems like credits are essentially an aftermarket currency earned by converting your now useless duplicate cards into a way to produce singles on some kind of storefront, which should be a lot of fun since the UI currently looks pretty terrible. And despite being in a pre-release build, I have little hope in it improving by much. However, I'm sure there will indeed be other ways to earn said credits, mainly by shelling out some sweet, sweet wonder. Oh, and just a side note, those special limits on amounts of certain cards also apply to transfers. So any dupes you currently own of Ace Spec, Prism Star or V-Union cards, and any extras of any card you might have more than 4 of other than energies, will all be voided. So that's fun. The third and final in-game currency for TCG Live will be crystals, which can be earned by completing specific quests, whatever the hell that means. Unopened products stored in your connected TCGO account that you transfer over to the new platform will also be converted into crystals. So basically, if you've got any packs, decks, or whatever left over from the old game, they'll be converted into crystals for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why they couldn't just convert them over as packs or decks or whatever, but I guess that would make too much sense. Here are the current conversion rates. So these are just conversion rates for unopened items, I guess. I don't even know. 1 to 9 items, 250 crystals. 10 to 24 items, 550 crystals. 25 to 49 items, 1,125 crystals. And it goes on. 50 to 124 items is 2,350 crystals. At the end of the day, what do these conversion rates really matter right now when we don't even know what crystals are and how much anything will cost? How easy or difficult will this currency be to attain? How much will the currency be worth? I.e., will a pack cost 50 crystals or 5,000 crystals? And from the sounds of this, it seems like it's going to cost a lot of crystals, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on the currency. Crystals can be used to purchase booster packs, promo cards, special bundles for cards, and more. So as you can see, this is the primary currency players really need to give a toss about: crystals. Just about the most unoriginally named currency of all time, these scream microtransactions, and I'll be damned if some kind of purchasing option for them isn't introduced. These crystals will no doubt prove to be a lot less affordable than simply buying codes online, or even buying real-life packs, which justify the cost being higher by giving you a whole pack of real cards along with your code. So, you can buy codes online for, 5-10 codes can cost you £1 or £2. And, bundles of 50 to 100 codes can cost you £5 to £10, which is definitely not nothing to be spending on essentially virtual items. But it's so much more affordable than your average milking, predatory mobile game system where, you can pay up £50 or even, £100 just to be able to afford some relatively high-level items, which is pretty ridiculous. But somehow people in the mobile industry have just gotten so used to that now. Pokémon TCGO was one of the exceptions to this, and now it seems like they're really just going to drop that. So, to be clear, the indication is that your codes will still be usable. So the current codes you have and the codes that you'll get from packs for TCGO content, it seems like they will still be usable, but apparently it may also be shelling out different rewards, and PTCG Radio did talk about this a bit in his video as well. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter, because this system still sucks as it's being needlessly shoved into a game that I think we can almost all agree really did not need it. Now, the question of how awful will these currencies turn out to be, that's one that only time will tell. But for now, as you can probably tell, I'm not exactly optimistic, and I think that is probably the most warranted response if you're experienced with the gaming industry, and especially the mobile gaming industry. We're not fully done talking about crystals though, because this currency has one more special use that I haven't yet mentioned. No, you're not currently high from a magic mushroom off of a Paris. Pokémon TCG Live will feature a Battle Pass, a Premium Pass, and according to some sources, a Premium Pass Plus. Why? So here's what the .esports.com article has to say about this. For now, all we know is that the Battle Pass will have multiple variants, including a Premium Pass, which will give players rewards based on how many quests they finish. 2 daily quests will be available to players each day, which will give players experience and quest rewards such as booster packs, accessories, and more. For players who want the top-level experience, they can use one of the in-game currencies, of course, crystals, to upgrade their Battle Pass to the Premium Pass. No details about how either pass have been revealed, except outside of the basic daily information and reward offerings. We will likely learn more about both styles of Battle Pass, what differentiates them, most likely how much they'll cost, and everything players can expect when trying to complete them when TCG Live opens its open global beta at some point later this year, which, by the way, has recently been delayed. Well, yeah. To anyone that had any doubts that this game will be monetized to unholy well, there you go. Why would there be 2 separate passes, one of them requiring a payment of crystals to unlock and literally being called premium if there are no microtransactions planned for this game? As for the content and exclusive cards or items behind said passes, we just don't know yet. But all I can say is that regardless, this is a horrible idea and is clear evidence that this game will be sticking proudly true to the tried and tested motto of mobile and AAA gaming: greed over gameplay. Anyone who knows where that's from gets a gold star. So I think we can all agree that things are looking pretty bad at this point. Well, actually, no, we can't, because somehow the majority of the community actually seems very positive about this game, and some are even trying to debunk the criticisms made against it. So let's see what they have to say in defense of Daddy Pokecorp. I mean, they're perfectly reasonable and well-founded opinions.
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
So, in his second video on the subject, RattlePokemon tackled some of the arguments that are pro PTCGL, and the takes he found were rather stupid, to say the least. He did a good job in responding to them in his own video, but I wanted to take a look at a couple that stood out to me the most.
Pokémon TCGL is a free game. If the devs don't add microtransactions, how will they make money?
This is a terrible argument and all too common among people who shill for these companies, or just generally ignorant kids who think that anyone criticising a game or property that they like is somehow in some kind of personal beef with them that means they have to blindly jump to the defence of said IP. Now, to be clear, there is nothing wrong with simply adding an option for players to purchase premium items in a free game. There really is nothing wrong with that, as just that out of any other context really does seem reasonable for these developers to make money. However, there is absolutely something wrong with doing it in a predatory manner. For example, I'm sure some of you on my channel are familiar with the game Brawlhalla, a free-to-play fighting game that allows players to purchase skins, cosmetic bundles, and battle passes for real money. This is a game that I think does this well, as players are capable of unlocking every character, playing every game mode both competitively and casually, and even entering esports tournaments for the chance to win money, all for free. The paid content is purely cosmetic, with skins, weapon skins, banners and the like, and also supports the developers, allowing them to improve the game, add more content, and fund their esports and other actual developments of the game. The difference here is that the PTCG Live is implementing needless, pay-to-win mechanics, predatory microtransactions that force players to spend money to progress where they didn't in PTCGO, and completely unbalances the previous system where anyone can afford to build and play a top deck with the best cards. Now, players with more money will spend more on crystals and therefore have a direct advantage over free-to-play players. And yes, you could make the argument that, players with more to spend have always had the advantage because they can buy packs and codes. Well, to an extent, yes, but it really wasn't so bad to the point where free-to-play players were locked off from any content. As we discussed earlier in the currencies, coins are shelled out at a perfectly reasonable pace, allowing players to buy multiple packs a day. And also participating in tournaments, if you actually do well enough, will give you many packs, which you can even trade on the marketplace. And also, as I mentioned here, the PTCGO never had any of these predatory mechanics, and this was the same company, and they didn't exactly go bankrupt between then and now. So it's really not like they need the money, or that they need that kind of additional support from their consumers. I mean, this is a Pokemon game. Do you have any idea how much money the trading card game is making? They really do not need to shove predatory systems into this game. This is pure greed at its finest. And now this second argument here. Well, I would be forgiven, you would be forgiven, anyone would be forgiven for thinking that this was some kind of joke, but this was an actual unironic argument made by somebody in RattlePokemon's second video. Trading doesn't matter because there are no physical cards anyway. They're just zeros and ones. Yeah, that was an actual argument made. If you don't believe me, go watch RattlePokemon's response video. But do I really have to go that deeply into this? How does the fact that the cards are digital nullify the impact of removing trading? I mean, this isn't FIFA or CSGO. No one is giving these digital items arbitrary values of stupid money and trying to trade them for money. Now, yes, people sell codes online, sometimes for silly prices, but it's absolutely nothing on what a lot of these other digital economies are. And that's not why we're annoyed they're taking trading out. We're talking about trading digital items for other digital items in-game in a system that doesn't require one to open their wallet at any time. This is a system about saving money and saving you from having to buy microtransactions, not milking money out of people. Pokemon are replacing this system with one that will actively live off whales and pay to win. What even is this argument, bro? Did you hit your head before writing this? And this guy was raging at everyone calling him a shill for Daddy Pokemon. Look, I don't think you're a shill. I just think you're completely ignorant on how greed is ruining gaming, and therefore quite stupid. But look, you're allowed to have whatever opinion you like. even if said opinion was spouted with the intelligence and eloquence of a drunk playing a didgeridoo. Okay. Well, those are pretty much my thoughts on the PTCG Live. There are some other problems that I didn't really talk about much, like the UI looks really, really bad. But I think I've covered everything that's really important here. It's removing content, removing trading, adding monetization and terrible systems, becoming a cookie-cutter clone of every other bloody mobile game, and in almost every way is a massive downgrade from the PTCGO. Yes, they're adding two of the most highly requested features that people who played the PTCGO wanted, but, you know, I'm going to say for myself, and I'm sure many other people will agree with me, that if we had the choice between, you know, not getting those two things but having the PTCGO as it is, and, you know, getting those two things but having this awful replacement that strips away so much more from the PTCGO than we would be gaining, I would happily stick with the current PTCGO. But that is just my take, and it's perfectly fine if you disagree with me. Feel free to let me know your own, whether it's in agreement or not, in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video and want to see more like it, it'd be awesome if you left a like and subscribed, as it did take some hours to make. Remember, it is totally free and you can unsubscribe at any time. Please check out the videos from RattlePokemon, PTCG Radio, and the .esports.com articles, all of which I will have linked in my description. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I've been Volkus, and I hope to catch you in the next one, which will, you know, fingers crossed, be a little bit less of a rant video.